if an employer was to put a wellbeing solution in place, how can you measure its effectiveness?
I guess it's kind of like there's two trains of thought on that. So, and that will apply to different organisations. So you've got what we would call the return on investment.
Okay.
So a more kind of commercial, financial return on investing in your employees' well-being. And then the other train of thought is value of investment. Neither one has a higher importance than the other.
Okay.
But it would be a kind of like a personal company choice, I would guess, in terms of how they measure it. So when we look at the return on investment, factually there are some really huge commercial returns. So when you look at some of the stats that are out there in terms of sickness, absenteeism, presenteeism, it's factually correct that if you invest in your employees' well-being, they're more resilient, so they have a stronger resilience to stress and emotional pressures. So you will find obviously a decrease in sickness absenteeism. They're more productive because they're looking after themselves from a personal well-being perspective, so therefore I guess they're kind of like on point throughout the day, so they don't have the lulls and the dips that people that aren't looking after themselves maybe would do. And they do have lower costs to healthcare. So where you've got a workforce that do have a particularly poor lifestyle or do have some particular issues in terms of whether it's mental or physical well-being, obviously that does create quite a high cost from a healthcare perspective. So those are the kind of like the true kind of hard facts of the commercial side of return on investment, which are hugely important to some organisations. But mustn't forget that actually, the value of investment of looking after your employees' well-being is huge, and you can't get that from anything else. So it does create a really happy, healthy workforce, which no company's going to not want that.
Of course.
It's great for talent acquisition, talent retention. So where you're looking after and you're investing in your employees, people don't want to leave, and then it's a great way of retaining employees obviously as well. And it has untold benefits in terms of just actually being able to improve somebody's lifestyle. Is a really great value that you can have as a business, and also obviously you can give to your employees as well. So neither one is more important than the other. I guess it depends on what your well-being strategy is looking for, what outcomes you're looking for from that, and what's most important to you as an organisation, I guess.
Okay, and how is there a way, because obviously ROI is much easier to measure because you can see the money, no money. Yeah. How would you measure VOI if you wanted to?
Yeah, it is hard. It's really hard to physically measure VOI, but some of the organisations that we've worked with previously, just something as really simple as just an employee story. So, for example, one of our employees, we invested, so a particular client of ours invested in some physical wellbeing solutions, and they had an employee, it's just one story in actually quite a large organisation, whose blood pressure was particularly high. Through investing in their own personal physical well-being, they managed to reduce that, which then meant that obviously personally for that employee, they didn't have to go onto medication. Obviously the health implications of having raised blood pressure, etc., could have then had quite an effect on that organisation. So, and sometimes that's just enough, so that's like it's very hard to measure, but what it is more emotional, touchy-feely, but there's different things that I've seen companies do in terms of have like testimonials or like pledges. So they might say, we've done similar in Reward Gateway through our wellbeing choice benefit. So we've asked people to pledge what they want to achieve by using that wellbeing choice benefit, and then we check back into them to see how they're getting on with that. So then that creates then the story. So it's not a measurement, but it's a way of us understanding whether what we're doing and what we're investing in is actually helping our individual employees.
Oh, yeah, thank you.